So if you've come searching to YouTube for the solutions towards your physique development, your physique goals, or generally speaking, you just look in the mirror and think, I have fucked it. I have neglected my body for so many years. I've gone on the piss every week for as long as I can remember. I've eaten pretty garbage foods. In the grand scheme of things, I've eaten a lot of garbage foods. I look like shit. I don't really know how to train. I used to call people that train gay. Now I'm half regretting it because they're in good nick. And I'm not. I know the cracks are really starting to show. And it's funny, when you turn 25 or 26 or so, you can really see who was fucking around in their youth and who was actually putting the work in. And it really is. It's like the equivalent of turning the lights on in a nightclub and going, holy fuck, we can really see the reprobates that are in here versus the people that are sound human beings. Now, I wanted to make this video not to, pull people apart for their earlier decisions. More to say, to be honest, you can abuse yourself for years and years and years. In 12 weeks' time, you can pretty much square yourself away. In 12 weeks' time, you can be a new fucking human being. How do I know this? Because I've done it. I've done the reps. I've done the trials and tribulations, and I can confidently say that after doing a body recomposition, you are squared away. You don't look like a soft sack of poo. You actually are a crispy, developed animal that is ready to go and summit and take on the world and go and take what the fuck he wants from life. But ultimately, you must go through those trials and tribulations to get there in the first place. Now, one thing I will say is, you must understand how you got there in the first place. How most of you got there is because you generally are lazy motherfuckers that thought they didn't need to train or couldn't be asked to go and find the answer. You got there through a series of habits. We must understand, you are where you are in life right now because of your own doing. For good, for absolute good, but also for bad. So we must understand that your habits have got you to exactly where you are today. Your habits have got you to do things that you knew were not good for you. It got you to eat poison, seed oils, garbage. It got you to watch porn, more than likely. It got you to stay up late. It got you to drink poison. And it got you to do a load of stuff that got you to where you are today. So in many ways, if you were to trust your own brain to get you in shape, you would probably fail, not because I'm being abusive or trying to put you down, just because the track record is when sometimes we listen to our feelings and our monkey brain that tells us to do something, this seems to be the outcome. So that's ultimately how we got there, through a series of habits that ended to us to where we are today. But that is a very good thing to know, because as long as we do agree, fine, it was all my fault. However, I can change this. Then there is optimism, then there is hope, and then there is absolute belief that you can do this, and not in the longest period of time either. Now, you may think, well, why the fuck do I want to change in the first place? And I would ask you, what would it cost you to stay in the position that you are now? And I'm not even speaking financial. I'm saying, what would it cost you in terms of happiness, morale, good fucking mental health? What would it cost you? And don't think about, what would it cost to go lower than you are now? I'm not saying that. I'm saying, if picture you had this physique, what would you get from this? Well, I'll probably be able to attract a better partner. How much happier are you going to be knowing you can attract a better partner? Every fucking male on the planet would always prefer to attract a better partner. A better male partner. How much happier would you be knowing that you've got a better partner and your offspring is going to look better because you're in good shape and so's your partner? So your offspring, your flesh and blood that you bring into this earth is going to be a more dominant motherfucker that's going to go and carry your name on and project your name further down the family tree. You're going to be happier or not with that outcome. So how much is that worth? How much is that worth? How much is it worth that your future children, if you don't change this, when you have them, they look at you and they don't look up to you as this athlete dad that can do whatever and can absolutely save the day as a superhero? How painful and how much would that pain cost to know that thought of feeling? To know that your own children would look at you and think, don't really respect him. That must be the single-handedly the most painful thing in the world. That is worth an infinite amount. And I'm not trying to put this into a monetary perspective. I just want you to look at it from the emotional standpoint. This is the repercussions of staying where you are and not changing. People think it's not that deep. Then fine, don't change. Don't change and be happy with how your children. They'll love you whatever because you're their father. Fine, but they won't respect you the same as they would do if you were in tip-top shape. You were making sure they were in tip-top shape and they were fit within their class. They were the top at sports. They were they were popular because you took the time to get in the best shape of your life. Now you inspired them each and every day because you got up early. You ate clean food. You didn't put poison in the cupboards for them to eat, for you to eat. you lived a solid, happy, and healthy lifestyle. Think of what it's going to cost to not do this, and then ultimately see the pain and forward project that. The intelligent individual will sit there and forward think about how painful that will be, and he will do something about it. The people that think I'm being harsh to them and saying it's not that deep, they'll sit there and they'll think it's okay. You're only jacking on yourself. You're only jacking on your future family. So I would honestly tell you that to take that into consideration if you're half like thinking about to do this. Now the next question is, how do we fix it? Honestly, it is relatively simple. I've done many videos. In fact, the last recent ones, if you're 25% body fat, go watch the video on that on how to go from 25 to lean. If you're 20% body fat, go and watch the video on that on how to go from 20% down to lean. The long and the short of it is, you're going to sit just below maintenance in a calorie deficit. You're going to train 5 times per week, push-pull legs, then a rest day, chest and back, and then delts and arms. Apply progressive overload and get stronger. With the diet, you should see the scale weight drop off 1 kilogram per week. If you don't, remove food. But first, before you do that, I would tell you to increase through output to drive that performance in the gym and to get the scale weight to drop off that way. Why? Because we want to be fit, strong athletes. We don't want to be fucking males on female amount of calories trying to drive performance in the gym. It just won't happen. If you don't have much muscle in the first place, you're going to need enough fuel in there to drive that performance in the gym. So the output is the means in which you get the body fat off. It only needs to be 12 weeks. Which, if you're 20% body fat, you drop a kg per week. If you're 17, 18% body fat, but a bit skinny, then this is really where you want to keep food for as high as you can for as long as you can. Because for you to get 6 kg off and hit the 10% or 11%, you're good to go. So keep your food high, allow your performance to drive in the gym, and you will develop muscle tissue. Make sure that you are getting stronger session after session after session after session as an absolute shit must. Keep your food clean, keep your food whole. Only pull from food when you're too busy to do any more activity. Then you take from fats, then from carbs after that. But keep carbs as high as you can for as long as you can. I won't go into the intricate details because I've done hundreds of videos on how to actually do this. The principle needs to be the same. You may have fucked around for so many years. You may be in absolute dire shape. You're only realistically 12 weeks away from getting to the goal that you need to. And now, however, you're 30% body fat, sure, it's going to take longer than 12 weeks. But most people that come and watch my channel end up sitting anywhere from 18 to 23% body fat from what I've seen from people that come to me. So that's just the rough average. Obviously, if you're 30%, it's going to take 12 weeks. But the majority of you that are just like a little bit soft across the stomach, not that much muscle, within 12 weeks, you can look like a new fucking superhuman. And I will show you tomorrow's video, because we just had a result finish and he literally was a 12-week result exactly like that. So this video is here to give you a wake-up call and to inspire that you're not that far away. The consequences of not doing this are really fucking painful, and to get there is not that simple, but we must change what goes on between the eyes. You must believe you are a fucking athlete in order to get to the goal. If you don't believe you're an athlete, you will constantly see yourself as the version of you that sits in front of you today in the mirror, and that is the version of you that constantly jacked on yourself, that people don't believe is a guy that's in shape and someone that hasn't got their life in order. You don't want to be that guy. You are an athlete. Vision yourself each and every day in front of the mirror. I am fucking athlete, and because of this, I live my way in this order. Because I live my way in this order, I now have the physique that matches the life that I live. It's that simple, boys. Let's fucking get after it. Let's change your physique. Thank you for watching. If you found it useful, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.